dance with us. Okay, we're gonna go into something, by the way.
Yeah, this is the beginning of a talk.
Yeah.
We're just gonna do a little dance.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen real soon. We're about to talk about something very important, but first we're just gonna let you bathe in the magic of Bali.
Okay, you want me to turn it down?
Yeah, turn it on.
Okay, we're getting to it.
All right, here we go. Welcome everybody.
Can everyone hear us now that the music is down?
Okay, beautiful people.
Okay, so
Here we go.
Bali has been so far definitely a huge crucible for our personal language alchemy, and so we wanted to share some codes for you and some codes that we've been working on with some clients on that basically we're going to go into right now. 3 things to never ever 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 say to your beloved.
These are big ones. These are like just like big no-nos that we seem to keep coming up time and time again in our coaching sessions and in our own work. And now that we're putting together what everybody's been asking for us to put together, which is a full communication experience, we are going to bring some of these codes to bear right now.
So if you've ever had that experience where you say something and then afterwards it was a big, oh my god, what even just came out of my mouth?
Yeah.
We're gonna maybe touch upon some of those right now.
Yeah.
So let's get into the first one.
Yeah.
So the first thing that we encourage to never ever ever say to your beloved, or to try your hardest, and this is about discipline and catching yourself because it's so easy and it's ingrained into our language, is entrapment words. Entrapment words are things such as always and never. And when we use words like this, for example, you always act like that. What we're doing is so many things. I'll cover one piece and then I'm going to hand it off to Lucian. So we're literally putting them in this ball and saying, this is how you are, this is how you will always be, and you're just fucking stuck. That's basically what we're saying when we're using things like always.
If you choose to receive it unconsciously, then you get stuck.
Yeah.
So,
or we're keeping them stuck in our own consciousness.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what else? It does so many things.
Basically, one of the things about absolutes is that, first of all, they're not true. There is no situation where anything is always or never something. Mm-hmm. And when that untruth fundamentally enters the system, the soul knows that, well, that's not true. But what it does is it creates energy leakage. So when you attach on to something that is an absolute and you allow it to pass or you allow it to move through, then you basically imprint yourself with an untruth. Because what's really consciousness wants to do is that something may be happening a lot in the relationship, or there might be a behavior that's coming up a lot, and it wants to be dissected, it wants to be understood, it wants to be revealed for what it really is. But the minute you say you're always doing this or you're never doing this, then you're not actually getting to the heart of what's actually going on. You're just basically creating an untruth that's an absolute that imprints you and imprints your partner and actually keeps you in a belief system that doesn't allow you to evolve. Mm-hmm. So just avoid always and nevers and avoid any form of deep entrapment into a way a person is to stunt the growth of the relationship. So that's number one.
Stay open and curious so that you are really allowing your partner to feel seen truly, because we're growing and evolving every single day. It's inevitable in relationship and life, and so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Receive the medicine, work through things, and then the next day treat your partner like you're on a completely new alien planet,
Like,
experiencing someone anew.
what?
That's the best way.
Who are you?
Hello.
Oh my god.
Hello.
Oh my god. Okay.
Okay. So
The second one that we're gonna go into is, okay. This one, it's almost like you probably know not to go there, but it might still slip out sometimes. So it's in any way putting the relationship in harm's way through ultimatums, or basically if you've ever said something like, maybe we should just end it, or maybe you'd be better off without me, maybe you'd be happier, maybe we'd be happier on our own,
maybe I should just leave Bali.
yeah.
So
No.
So the reality is that everyone has in their system, in their reptilian brain, in their natural human psychology, the flight or fight response. And it's not that a lot of us want to break up in that moment or want to split from our partner in that moment. We have just an imprint, we have an instinct to run away from the energy, or it's too much, and the instinct is to just go away. Or the instinct is to show your partner how critical this is affecting your system. And the only way that you've created the habit around doing that is putting the relationship on the line. And so we always say, like, unless you're really ready in your mind, body, emotional system to have a conversation about separation from another soul, from another partnership, there is no situation where you put the relationship itself at risk in a verbal announcement. Because what that does is, what it does is that it creates a continuous, I call it a adolescent framework around your relationship, which is one of showing your partner that you're willing to be reckless in the union itself. And I know that's really strong words, but that's really what you're doing. You're basically shaking the you're shaking the rug. You're
shaking your own word.
You're creating an earthquake. You're creating a minor to major earthquake in the foundation of your relationship. And do you really want to do that? Is it worth it to do that? And maybe it's a cry for help, and maybe that's the only way that you feel you can be reached. But I would say that that is not the way to announce a cry for help, and that's not the way to do it, because what it does is that will eat away at a relationship and the foundation of a relationship really, really fast, and it'll just keep you in a much more adolescent frame of mind, and your own soul will be like, oh, what is that? Like,
and it keeps
you
out
doing?
of touch with your true power as a lover. Because, okay,
Yeah.
so if
As a
any
king
of
and
you
queen
have
of who you
said
are.
that, please comment and let us know. After you've said that, how shitty does that feel? Does that feel like, oh yeah, I'm a fucking queen, I'm a king, I'm super powerful lover? Yes. Or does it feel like, wow, I really went there. Wow, I just let my wounding get to me. Wow, I just acted like I was in 5th grade. So really just notice how these things feel, especially this one, when it comes through your vessel and when you're speaking it, because when you get real with yourself, you realize that is actually allowing yourself to stay there is actually a holding pattern that you have that's holding you in place from not only the person that you want to be, but obviously the relationship that you want to have. So it's about noticing those tendencies, right? Those tendencies to just blurt out, maybe we should just be done.
I mean, it's very dramatic.
Super dramatic. Sometimes, it feels good, and in a sense, right? It feels good to the ego, because it's like,
Well, it's a false-
letting out. It's a false
moment of power.
moment of power and a false emotional release, because it's not a true, oh, I've just been feeling so sad and angry. It's like, it's a false rage.
It's almost like you release the energy, and then you have a sudden relief of releasing the energy, but then you have the guilt of like doing something that you know isn't good. So it's
like
a
really bad orgasm.
double-edged sword.
It's like an orgasm that happens in 1 second, and then you kind of feel like meh afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so comment if you're like, yes, I totally need to shift
I mean,
that.
these are kind of obvious ones, but
It's-
you'd be surprised. I mean, these are just like still showing up. They show up so much for us, and they show up so much in relationship.
It's
and
crazy
so it's just
how-
like they're just like big no-nos. Just really like ingrained. Do a full meditation of like, I will not do this anymore in my life. Thank you.
It's crazy how much we can really know something and know how harmful it is to ourselves and to our partner and to our lives, and then we still have these patterns and these habits and these tendencies from who knows when.
Yeah, Ryan says you know not to say it, but then you do.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like we know. So then the question is, you have to like tap into that part of you that is doing it. And you need to talk to that part, because that's the impulsive,
Inner child.
reptilian, hurt child, whatever.
Yeah.
It's different for different people, but wherever that impulsive energy that's creating a recklessness, that is the part where it's like, that's stepping from boy to king, from little girl to queen, from reckless warrior, dark warrior to warrior of light, like whatever the deep archetypal energies that's coming through the impulse, like that's where the transmutation
Yeah.
is available.
Ryan says working on the brake button. That's it. It's
Working-
discipline. It's like
Working on the brake
it's like,
button.
oh God, I don't want to stop, but I need to stop.
That's a
Okay.
beautiful intention, actually. I love that one, Ryan. Like working on the brake button. That's fantastic. I'm gonna use that. That's really fantastic.
Do you remember what the third one is?
The third one.
Come on.
We were just talking about it.
Come
What was
on.
the third one? The
It
third
was-
one.
Okay,
Well, if
I'm
you
gonna
wouldn't have
dance
asked
and
me,
get it.
if you wouldn't have asked me what the third one was, I think I was
I'm
about
gonna
to say.
dance and I'm gonna get it.
The third one was to. Well, maybe we should just ask everyone out there what's a really good one while we're thinking about it. Wow, what just happened?
It's okay.
Well-
It's gonna come to us.
Well, we can do the one that we were gonna do.
Totally.
So another one is basically calling a person out whenever they're expressing how they feel. And oh, you remembered it?
I remembered it. Wait. It
Well, that's
just-
not a true memory if it doesn't come up. And now I forgot mine. Oh my gosh.
What
This is
happening?
this is the downfall of doing a Facebook Live.
That's okay,
guys.
but they can still hang out and dance with us.
Yeah, we'll just dance
No,
while
but
we're
I
thinking
totally
about it.
just remembered it, so it's gonna come back. Just wait. I think we just need to take a dance break, okay?
Okay, take
It's
a
gonna-
dance break.
I promise it's coming back. So just stay on with us, okay?
I'm just gonna let
Stay
you
on
guys
with
like feel.
Yeah,
Look at this
feel
beautiful,
Bali. Feel
beautiful
Bali.
river down here.
Yeah, show them the river.
I'm gonna show you the river. For those of you who've never lived in Bali, you can literally. What's that? Saying, there it
Okay.
is. Okay. For those of you who've never been to Bali, if you ever want to really tap into who you really are, tap into your relationship, tap into your business, it's a beautiful place to live very inexpensively, very lavishly, and eat the most
Very lavishly.
eat the most delicious food I've ever had in my life. That
best food, best massages, like
it's incredible. It's been incredible for our brand. It's been incredible for our relationship. So that's a little promo for Bali. Thank you. We'll be taking residuals on that.
what is the comment that we got? Well, just watch a Shay stare at you, loving and loving.
Yes. Yes. We will send that to everyone.
Okay, let's go into the third one because
the
we
third one.
remembered.
We remember it.
Okay.
So basically false surrenders.
Saying yes when you mean no, or saying no when you mean yes, because
And
you've just
specifically
been given up.
around giving up.
Yeah.
So like, you can put a pin in something and say, look, it's too heated, or we can't resolve it right now because I need to get clear, or it's just not the right energy or not the right container, or something comes up to interrupt it. But a false surrender where like you say you're right, or you say I give up, or anything that is you not truly holding a boundary that you haven't resolved, or belief that you haven't resolved, or like you still haven't been heard or felt heard. Again, it's an energy leakage thing, just like the first rule, where if you bring that forward, you're laying in the alchemy and untruth about where you actually sit with something in your own consciousness, and that's actually creating separation. So it doesn't mean being a hard-headed, obstinate. It's not. We're not talking about stubborn is good. We're talking about unresolved is unresolved in your consciousness, and there's compassion for that, and that there's things that just still need more time or need a different moment or a different environment for your beloved to see you, or for you to see your beloved. So it's just about tapping into that.
What will happen with most couples is they'll get into some level of a conflict or some level of an argument, and then they'll go into it for probably way too long. They'll kind of start talking about it, and it might take an hour or more. Sometimes everyone has a different level of how much they can take before they kind of break, and their emotional stability is just kind of like, whew, I can't do it anymore. And so this is about noticing within yourself what that is for you, and being able to, before you hit that point, being able to regulate your emotional state enough to say in a conscious, calm way, I'm getting overworked, my brain is getting overworked, maybe let's revisit this in an hour or 30 minutes. I really need to collect myself. Because if you don't do that and you're coming up to your edge, if you keep going and keep going and keep going, then you will reach that moment where you just want to give up, where you just want to say, you know,
it's not worth it.
Oh, I'm done, I'm over it. And also, this same thing can be masked as making up. So some people will get into, like I said, a conflict or an argument at nighttime, and they'll you know, we'll work with clients, and they'll say things to us such as, it kind of died down and then it was fine. It kind of died down and then it was fine for the rest of the night, and then it came up again the next day. And so that just means that it didn't really get resolved. It just slowly, both people simply got tired of going into it. Nothing was actually getting resolved. You didn't have the skills or communication.
It's fine.
To really evolve it and go into it. And so it just kind of like dies down and goes nowhere until it will reappear and reappear and reappear until it is healed.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah. So we got a comment. Let us know if you're resonating with this. And let's see, Melissa says, yes, that kind of relates to the whole I'm fine when actually something is bugging you.
Yeah, that's another perfect example.
That's a hard one to let go.
Why
Why is it a hard one to let go? It's an easy one to let go when you just say, I'm gonna let this one go.
Well, it's really about just adding more articulation to like how you feel. So you can say, I just feel exhausted from this. Like we got to find another way to address it. And tomorrow we'll come up with something. But just any kind of blanket statements of surrender, release, I'm fine when I'm not. Anything like that, that's an untruth. That just moves the energy. See, the energy actually doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't resolve, it doesn't transmute, so it just goes into some other aspect to be resolved in some other way.
And I can tell you from experience that saying something such as I'm fine versus saying something such as I still feel the energy present within me, I'm noticing I'm a little bit off right now, and that's just okay. That's just where I'm at. Feels so much better because you're being authentic with your soul. And so I invite you to step into, not only for your relationship and for your communication and alchemy, but just for how you are going to feel as a powerful human being in alignment with your soul's voice and your higher self voice. Just be authentic to what is really going on without making the other person wrong. So instead of just saying, yeah, I'm fine, babe, I can say, if I'm really fine, then perfect. I'm fine, babe, and he can feel that. And then if I'm not fine, I can say, I feel a little bit uneasy right now, and I just don't really want to go into it anymore, and I love you, and can we please revisit this in a little bit? I feel a little uneasy, but I'm going to take care of it myself.
And one that I do, guys, like if you're feeling a lot of anger, or you're feeling a lot of like strong masculine heat coming up in your system, it doesn't mean that, and you're getting exhausted and it's the same type of energy and you're ready to kind of bow out, but it's unresolved. One of the things that we've learned to do is it's okay that it's unresolved, okay? It doesn't, the desire to like work it out mentally or work it out in some way in order for you to go to bed or for you to like feel good or you to go on your date or you to go out and meet your friends and have a great time or whatever it is the next thing that you have on your day or your night, is to just simply say it's unresolved. It's okay that it's unresolved, and I'm just gonna go out and I'm just gonna go out and release this anger.
And contemplate too a little bit, like being out in the world and kind of taking a break really allows me, for one, to release some of that intensity, that heat that Lucian was speaking about, and then come into more clarity for the conversation to merge again out of that clear space, right?
Yeah. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, those were our codes for the day. And I think did I forget to put a title to this video? If I did, I'm going to do it afterwards. Okay, well, thank you. We love you to each and every one of you who joined us here in Bali for this video. And expect more.
Expect more. Love you guys.
Mwah.